And all the way onto your back, so you can have your soles of the feet together, knees out wide. You can have the feet on the floor, you can just knock the knees together. Go ahead and set the block off to the side for now. Press your hands out to the side as well, palms face up or face down. Close the eyes or gazing softly at the ceiling. Once you get into a comfortable position, start to deepen your breath. So take a nice full inhale through your nose, allow the belly, allow the chest to expand and fill up, and then exhale all the air out. Nice and easy. Big breath in, filling the belly, filling the chest. And then exhale. Keep this breath flowing in and out. Go ahead and scan through the body, everywhere from the toes and the nose and anywhere in between. Just noticing what these spaces and areas feel like. If maybe you're sore in a certain section, or maybe you're feeling a little bit strong and open and energized. You know, wherever you are today, it doesn't matter. I just want you to check in, notice what it is, and then use that to go through your yoga practice in the way that's best going to serve you. Allowing the shoulders to relax a little bit more into the mat. Moving the awareness from our body and our breath into our mental space and just seeing what kind of emotions and thoughts have been passing by today. Hands out to the side. Go ahead and give the fist a good squeeze, and then opening the hands back, relaxing them. And bring the soles of the feet together. Take the knees out wide and for a reclined butterfly pose. And bring the hands to the belly. Letting the breath rise and fall. Go ahead and extend the legs out nice and long. Reach your arms up overhead and stretch out through the fingers and the toes. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bring both knees into the chest. Rock side to side. Come back to center. Left foot's going to go to the floor. Keep the right knee into the chest. We'll interlace the hands behind the right thigh and stretch the right heel up towards the ceiling. And then I just want you to bend and straighten your right leg. Go ahead and point and flex the foot, roll the ankle around a little bit, wiggle the toes. And then we'll bend the knee back into the chest, extend the left leg out nice and long. Hold on to the knee with your left hand, take your right arm out to the side. Take a breath in, and then exhale, we'll take a twist. So the knee's gonna go off to the left, shoulders stay on the floor, gaze is up at the ceiling or over the right shoulder. One more breath here. And then exhale, we'll come back to center. Keep the knee into the chest. We'll bring the left foot back to the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. And then lift your left leg into the air. Use your left foot, or your left knee, excuse me, to push your right foot closer. There we go. Now, some people like to take a bind. They like to take their right hand in between their thighs, and then the left hand's going to grab behind it on the left thigh. You don't have to do that. It's just a little option here. Making sure both feet are flexed and active, pushing the left knee into the foot a little bit more. And then we'll go ahead and undo the legs, give them a shake out into the air. And then the right foot's gonna come to the floor, hands are gonna come behind the left thigh, and then we'll bend and straighten this left knee. Go ahead and point and flex the foot, roll the ankle around, wiggle the toes. It's all connected. Just getting some movement in there, especially if you're somebody that wears closed-toed shoes a lot, really trying to move those toes away from each other. Then we'll bring the knee back into the chest, extend the right leg out nice and long. Right hand's gonna go onto the knee, left arm goes out to the side, take a big breath in, and then exhale, take a twist. Knee is gonna go off to the right. There we go, nice. Take 2 more breaths here. Your last exhale brings us back to center. Bring the right foot back onto the floor, and then cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Hold there for a moment, and then when you're ready, we'll lift the right leg up, using the right knee to push the left ankle closer to the chest. Again, you can take that bind. Left hand's gonna thread it between the thighs. Right arm's gonna go behind the leg to meet it. You get an option. If it feels like that's too much, you don't even have to bind the arms. You can just use the legs to open up that left hip a little bit more. Notice the difference from the right to the left. One's always going to be a little bit tighter. Making a mental note of that. And then we'll uncross the legs, give them a shake out into the air. Bring both feet onto the floor, knees bent. We'll grab that block. And then we'll place the block in between the thighs on the low setting. Perfect. Now we're going to lift up into what's called a low bridge. So hips to ribs, a slight tuck of the tailbone. Push down into the feet, lift the hips off the floor. There we go. So you're squeezing the block. We're really trying to utilize the glutes and the hamstrings here. I'm not too worried about the chest and trying to open it up towards the ceiling, right? You want to keep the ribs contained into the body. Squeeze the block with the thighs. And then lift your toes off the floor. Just the toes, right? And I want you to take your hands up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and flex and extend the wrist, kind of waving at the ceiling almost. And then flexing the wrist, pull back on the left fingertips. And then the right. We'll pull back on the left, keep the hips lifted, keep squeezing the block. And then the right. Beautiful. Take the arms up overhead, breath in. Exhale, bring your hands by your sides, palms on the floor. Inhale, lift the arms up and over alongside the ears, back to the hands on the ground. And then exhale, bring them back by your sides. 2 more breaths like that. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, bring the hands back down. Nice. Last one. Bring the hands back by your sides. We'll go ahead and remove the block out from the thighs. Keep the hips lifted. Then I want you to grab the edges of your yoga mat, right? Like you're almost going to pull it apart. You won't do that, but you're going to feel like you might. Take your right foot and heel toe it to the middle a little bit. There we go. Lift the left knee into the chest. Woo. Push down into the right foot. You can drop the toes down if they're still lifted. There we go. Keep the left knee in. Flex the left foot. Extend the left foot up towards the ceiling. Push into your right foot a little bit more. Take a breath in. Exhale, hips lower to the floor. Ooh, keep the left foot up towards the ceiling. Extend your right leg out nice and long. Make an L with your legs. Ooh, so right leg out on the ground. Ooh, there we go. Left leg up. And then I want you to pulse up with this left leg. So pulsing towards your body. There we go. Ooh. We'll bend the left knee into the chest. Set the foot down on the floor. Right foot's going to come in to meet the left. We're going to lift back up into that low bridge. Careful to let the ribs poke out to the ceiling. You want to keep them contained into the body, so we're utilizing the core. Gripping the mat with the feet, with the hands. Heel toe your left foot into the middle, and then bring your right knee into your chest. The left glute's normally the weaker one. Push into your left foot a little bit more. Keep the right knee into the chest. Flex the right foot. Breathe. Breathe. Extend the right foot up towards the ceiling. And then one more breath. Whew. Exhale, lower the hips down. Extend the left leg out nice and long, making an L. And then pulsing this right leg. Nice. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and bend that knee, set the foot down, bring the left foot in to meet it. Nice. We'll take the block, bring it back in between the knees now instead of the thighs. Feet on the floor. Go ahead and interlace your hands behind your head. Make a little hammock here. Pull the elbows to cradle the side of the head. Take a breath in, and then exhale, lift the shoulder blades off the floor. So let the head rest back into the hands. Think about lifting the shoulders up. Squeeze the block with the knees. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up. Hold here. Extend your left foot out. Squeeze the block. Flex the left toes. Lift up a little bit more on the shoulders. Left foot comes down. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Extend the right foot. Squeeze the block. Lift the shoulder blades up. Woo. Foot comes down. You come down. Go ahead and remove the block off to the side. Bring the knees into the chest. And then we're going to rock up to a seat. Woo. Killer. So go ahead and place both of your blocks towards the tops of your mat. That way they're there in case you need them. Blocks are there to help you reach the floor. And I don't want you to think of them like you can't come into the pose with the blocks. If anything, they're just there to help you out. So we're going to come to a nice comfortable seat. Hands are going to be on the knees. Go ahead and bring the heart forward, look up towards the ceiling. You can let the head drop back if you'd like. Exhale, round the spine, sit back a little bit, tuck the chin. So we're doing some seated cat-cows. Inhale, heart goes forward. Head can look up if that feels okay for the neck. Exhale, round, pull the belly in, puff through the shoulder blades. Nice. 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Beautiful. Come back to the center. We'll reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. Exhale, twist to your left. Bring both hands down. So 1 hand on the knee, 1 hand behind you. Sitting up nice and tall. You can look over the left shoulder if that feels okay. Always checking in with your breathing. If it feels hard to keep, you can always come out of the pose a little bit. You don't have to go all the way to your edge every time. Left arm's going to reach up alongside the ear. Inhale as you lift up towards the ceiling, and then we're going to lean to the right. There we go. So you're thinking about getting your right shoulder towards your right knee. You can look up underneath your arm, or you can stay looking out at the floor. We'll come back up. Left hand will come down, and then we'll rotate back to center. Crisscross your legs the opposite way. There we go. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, twist to your right. So right hand behind you on the fingertips, or the palm can be flat, looking over the right shoulder. Breath flowing in and out. And on your next inhale, we'll bring the right arm up alongside the ear. Exhale, lean to the left. Noticing where you feel the stretch for yourself the most. Is it in the upper body, the lower body, maybe into the outer hips a little bit? We'll come back up, right hand will come down, and we'll rotate back to center. Go ahead and take the hands out. We'll just kind of flex them towards each other and away. There we go, and then up and down. Similar to what we were doing when we were laying on our backs. Go ahead and roll the wrists around a little bit. And then I want you to take the wrists and flex them. Take your right arm out. And then take your left ear to your left shoulder. There we go, yep. So opposite side. And then we're gonna take this right hand back a little bit. Bring it back forward, bring the head back to center. We'll switch sides, left hand will go out to the side, right ear will drop over to the right shoulder. Maybe take that left hand back a little bit. Bring it back forward, lift the head back up. We'll go ahead and interlace the fingers. Press the palms towards the front of the room, and then up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in as you reach up. Exhale, bring the hands forward, round, sit back a little bit. There we go. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, bring the hands out to the sides towards the floor. stay on the fingertips. We'll take the right ear to the right shoulder, and then we'll bring the chin to the chest, over to the left. Keeping the fingers active like you're reaching towards the floor. We'll go back to the center, over to the right. Nice, and then lift the head back up. Go ahead and extend the feet out in front of you, kind of roll the ankles around, wiggle the toes. Perfect. I normally do an icebreaker with new people. I normally have you put your fingers in between your toes and one of them. I'll wait for another class.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Natalie. Come over on hands and knees. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Toes are tucked under just to help open up the bottoms of the left feet. By the way, that knee blanket's there in case you need it. I cut up an old mat, so. And the hands are up to you. So some people like to have their hands a little closer together. I like to have them out wide. It's totally your choice. You want to make sure you're pushing down into the hands, lifting the head, but the gaze is in between the thumbs. Belly is pulled in, and then we'll do a few cat-cows here. So inhale, release the heart towards the floor, look forward or up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, lift up through the shoulder blades. Maybe give a little shimmy up there. Inhale, heart goes forward, gaze goes forward or up. Exhale, round, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Two more like that. Inhale, and exhale. Nice, one more. Beautiful. We'll go ahead and come up onto the knees, and we're gonna bring the right foot forward. There we go. So I like to have 90-90 legs. So left knee is underneath my left hip, right foot's right underneath my right knee. I tuck my back toes under. You can lay them flat. It's totally up to you. And then tailbone towards the floor. So it's careful not to let your ribs go. I'm gonna try to keep it all contained together. So take your left arm out by your side, right hand on the hip. We'll reach the left arm up, forward and up towards the ceiling, and then we'll lean to the right. There we go. Yep, so switch hands. There you go, perfect. We'll come back to center. Left hand's gonna come to the floor. Heel to your right foot away from you just a smidge, just to create a little more space. And then right arm's gonna go up towards the ceiling for a twisted low lunge. There we go. I want you to hold here and take your left foot and just kickstand it off to the side, off to the left. There we go. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's the next door. I'm like, what is happening? Is something falling in here? Bring that left foot back in line with the knee. Right hand's gonna come onto the right thigh. We'll lift the left knee up off the floor, and then we'll open it back out into a high lunge twist. Left hand down, right arm up towards the ceiling. You can look up or look down. We're gonna take 2 more breaths here. Opening up through the chest, reaching out with that right hand. And then exhale, that right hand's gonna come onto the right thigh. Left heel's gonna go to the floor. Turn your left toe to face towards the front door. And then we're gonna come up for warrior 2. So right knee is bent. Left toes are pointing out. And your hips are facing to the left. Your arms are gonna come out into a T. You're gonna look over your right middle finger. There we go, perfect. Tailbone towards the floor. Reaching out with the hands. Legs are nice and active. We'll take the left hand down the back leg. Flip your right palm up and reach it back. Keep the right knee bent. Front one. There you go. Yeah, keep the front knee bent.
It's okay. We always have problems with left.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Even I do. Come back to warrior 2. Nice. Right forearm's going to be on the right thigh. Left arm's going to reach along the ear. Palm faces the floor. Here we go. Come back up. Warrior 2. Straighten the front leg. Turn your right toes to face the left side of your mat. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, fold over the legs, bringing the hands to the floor. Wide-legged forward fold. There we go. So you can do a couple things with the hands. You can walk the hands underneath you. You can walk them out in front of you. And then some people like to grab the outsides of their ankles. It's completely up to you. The knees can be soft. They don't have to be straight. Feel like you're having trouble reaching the floor, you can always grab blocks and bring those underneath your hands. Go ahead and bend the right knee. We'll bring the hands back to the front of the mat. We'll bring the left knee down. Come up onto that left knee and then bring the right knee back to meet it. Nice, we'll switch sides. Left foot's gonna go forward. Back toe stays tucked if you'd like, or untucked. Left hand on the hip. Right arm's gonna reach forward and up alongside the ear. And then we're gonna lean to the left. And you should feel this coming all the way up into the body. Maybe you feel it another spot for you, that's fine. Maybe you don't feel it at all. Maybe you're already pretty open in that area.
No, it's bad.
We'll come back up. This right hand's gonna come to the floor. We'll twist the torso to the left and then extend the left arm up. There we go. Now make sure you're pushing into that bottom hand and gripping the mat. If you'd like to, you can take that right toes and kickstand them off the mat a little bit. Sometimes it adds a little extra to the twist, sometimes it doesn't. Bring that foot back in line with the knee. Left hand's gonna come on top of the left thigh. We'll lift the right knee up, and then we'll come back into a high lunge twist. Extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. Yep. So left arm back up, there you go. And then we're gonna set up for a warrior two. Left hand on the left thigh. We'll take the right heel down, turn the toe out, and we'll come up for warrior two on the left side. Now I like to get my legs nice and strong and stable first. So left knee is bending. We'll bring the arms out to a T. Palms face the floor. Belly pulled in, tailbone to the ground. And then when you're ready, we'll start to move a little bit. So right hand on the right thigh. Left arm's gonna go up and back. Come back, warrior two. Left forearm on the left thigh. Hand open like you're holding a platter. Right arm's gonna go alongside the ear. Palm faces the ground. Perfect. Perfect. Watch that top arm. Make sure it's nice and active. We don't want to sleepy fingers. Come back, warrior two. We'll straighten out this front leg. Bring both hands to the hips. Turn the left toe to face the right side of your mat. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, fold over. And then hands on the floor, fingertips. We're going to start to bend from one side to the other. And if you need to, you can bring the feet in a little bit so it's not such a wide stance. If you want to go wider, you're also welcome to. Making sure the weight is more so in the heels than the toes. If you go more into the toes, it's going to feel a little crunchier in the knees. Now the next time you bend to the right, hold there. There we go. And then bring the hands over to the right side. There we go. Left hand's going to stay on the floor. We're going to take the right arm up towards the ceiling. Very nice. Again, you can always have your hand on a block if that makes it a little bit easier. You got to bring the pose to your body. Right hand comes back down to the floor. Straighten the right leg. We'll bend the left knee. Walk the hands over to that side. Right hand stays on the floor. Left arm will go up. Perfect. Thanks. And it's always your choice with the gaze, right? So like some of us have funky necks, so we don't like to look up or look down. We just kind of like to keep it neutral. That's totally up to you. Left hand's going to come down. And then we're going to bring the hands to the front of the mat. Plant both hands. Step the left foot back to meet the right for plank. And then up and back into a downward dog. So it looks basically like an upside down V. There you go. If you need to walk the feet towards your hands a little bit, that's okay. That you, Natalie, you stay right where you are. And it doesn't matter about getting your heels to the floor, right? Especially the first downward dog of the day. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Come up high onto the toes. Bend the knees. Shift the hips up towards the ceiling like you're going to plant your butt on the ceiling. And then we're just going to go up and down on the toes. So taking the heels down and then coming up. And again, it doesn't matter if the heels touch or not. Right? 3, 2, 1. Bring both knees down to the floor, nice and easy. Coming back into a tabletop position. We're going to take our right toes, kickstand them off the mat, and then we're going to bring the left foot to the back of the mat. So we're going to set up for what's called a side plank. So right toes kickstand off, left foot goes to the back of the mat, right hand underneath the shoulders, left hand on the hip. There we go. Now if your left foot is over on the right side of your mat, bring it so it's towards the left side. There we go, perfect. Now you can stay just like this, or extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. If you feel good here, maybe lift the left leg up. Ooh. Again, not necessary, but an option.
Do it in your cold blocker.
Push into that right hand a little bit more. Take one more breath in and out. Left foot will come down. We'll bring the left hand down to the ground. We'll bring that left knee in. And go ahead and just sit back on the heels for a moment. Shake the hands out. I'm going to show you guys a little doozy we're going to do today. So I do want to mention that this is more of a shoulder strengthener than anything else. But I want to show you because some of us are visual learners, and when you put your body in a weird position or like a new position, sometimes it can be hard to like put two and two together.
You got EMS on standby, right?
Huh? Yes, it is. So I'm going to show you guys first. We're going to come to our forearms. You don't have to do it just yet. And then we're going to just lift the knees up. Now I want to mention, when I lift the knees up, my upper body doesn't do anything, right? It stays just like it is. I don't go, okay? So when I do lift my knees, this is going to be like a crouching forearm plank. I don't know what word we're going to use it. But what we're going to do is we're going to go forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. We're not going to do that just yet. We're going to do side plank on the other side, but that's what we're going to do after this. So take your left toes, kickstand them off the mat. Right toes go to the back of the mat on the left side. Then right arm goes up towards the ceiling. So when you got everything stacked, you should be good. And then when you're ready, maybe lift the top leg up. Maybe. One side's going to be a little easier than the other. Here we go. Here we go. You feel a bit wobbly? That's all right. Don't have to worry about lifting the foot that high off the floor. When you're ready, we'll bring the right hand down. Right knee will come back in for tabletop. Nice. We're going to stretch the hands a little bit. I want you to take your left hand and flip it over. Here we go. And then sit back slightly. So in yoga, we do a lot of flexing. Sometimes I like to kind of mix it up a little bit, do some extension halfway through. We'll switch sides. Perfect. We'll go ahead and bring the forearms down. Now we're going to measure first. So I want you to grab opposite biceps. It's kind of your measuring distance there. And then we'll interlace the hands. Now, put your hands on the floor, right? You feel that pinky knuckle might get squashed. I want you to tuck that bad boy into your palms, right? It just makes it a little bit better. Whichever one's on the bottom, bring it in. Cool. And then I also want to make sure that you're pushing down. Because there's a big difference between this, just kind of hanging out, and actually pushing down into the forearm. So getting nice and strong up top, tuck the toes, lift the knees off the floor. Hover here for a moment, right? If you feel a little shaky here, just hold here and then maybe bring the knees down. Or if you want to add that movement, we're going to go forward, almost like you're going to kiss your hands, and then back, forward, and back. There we go. Forward and back. Stay low. Forward and back. Woo! Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Woo! Knees come down. Sit up and back for a moment. Do some back strokes.
So now you can't complain when I yell at you. No. Now I know why Raquel went to the gym.
Apparently, I don't have enough of a workout for her. That's all right.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wait till I have a conversation with her tomorrow.
I will say in my classes, I really like to do a good balance of stretching and strengthening and then mobility stuff. So it kind of all comes in together. So we're going to do that again. And again, I want you to stay low with it. And if you feel like it's too much to do the movement, say you've got shoulder issues or whatever, then just worry about hovering the knees, right? And keeping that nice, strong center. If you want to add the movement, you're welcome to. We'll lift the knees up. Whew, find your stable base. And then when you're ready, we'll start to kind of seesaw. So taking the face towards the hands, and then back. Woo. Back, Christine, you just hold. That's That's a lot. We're going back and forth. Woo! It's a lot more of a leg workout than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
3, 2, 1. Knees come down. Whew, sit up and back for a moment. Nice. Want to reach the arms up. We'll grab the right wrist with the left hands, and we'll take the arms over to the left. Up through center, switch sides, over to the right. Come back up, and then bring the hands down. So we're going to stretch them out a little bit. I want you to bring, this is called the knife edge of your hand, so your pinky side. Same thing with your foot. If I ever say knife edge of your foot, that's what I mean. So from tabletop, we're going to take our hand, your right hand, over to the left side of your mat. Okay? And then from here, we're going to take the armpit towards the floor. Here we go. That's you just kind of over to the left and then leaning down and taking the elbow and the armpit down towards the floor. Come up, switch sides. Left pinky to the right side of the mat. And then shifting that weight back to the heels, bringing that left armpit towards the ground. Come back up to hands and knees. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the knees up and back for a downward dog. Stay up high on your toes, knees are soft. Extend the left leg up into the sky. Go ahead and point your toe, almost like you're gonna reach to the sky. Come up high onto the right toes. Push into the hands, lift the left foot a little bit more. Ooh, and then bring the left foot down. Switching sides, right foot goes up towards the ceiling. Point the toe, try to touch the ceiling with your toe. Reach, reach, reach. Push into the left big toe. Also, grip the mat with your fingers. There's a lot going on here. And right foot comes down. Ooh, take your feet out as wide as the mat. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Knees out wide, or knees out, toes out. Knees bent. Grab opposite elbows. So fold here. Release the hands. Keep the knees bent. We're going to roll all the way up to standing. Ooh, roll the shoulders onto the back. Sweep the arms out and up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, hands to prayer in front of the heart. Nice. Go ahead and scooch your knee blanket off to the side for a moment. If you need some water, go ahead and take some water. Your little break for a second. Yeah, that's what. So we're gonna do two different things. We're gonna stretch our quad and hamstring in like its own little bit of movement, okay? So I'll wait till she comes back to go into it. And I'll actually take some water, because I always forget in the end of class, I'm like, why am I hurt? Like, why is my mouth so dry? And then it's like you're talking and breathing and exercising and
You're concentrating on us. Forgetting about you.
wow. Wow, Natalie, calling me out. You're calling me out.
Well, we can't have anything happen to you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I like it here.
Huh?
I'm in agreement. I like it here.
Thank you. And I do want to mention this next one's going to be a little balancey. So sometimes people feel like they can balance more when they step off their mat. Throwing that out there. So it's going to be two different movements. We're going to work on the first one first, and then we'll do the second one after. But you're going to want to take one foot forward, your left foot back. One foot forward. Right foot forward, left foot back. Now, I have my left foot turned out kind of at an angle, right? And this knee is actually going to bend. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of come down and around and then back up. So the hands are going to come alongside the body, touch towards the toes, and then come back up. Just kind of doing a little flick here. And then if you feel okay with this, you can lift the front of the foot up as you come down and then up. Sweep. Kind of like a sweeping motion. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, Last one. 5. Beautiful. Now we're gonna step into this right foot. We're gonna bring the left foot in. Try to do a hand to foot kind of thing here. And if you're like, shit, I don't know about balancing, yep, come up and use this, or you can use the mirror. Hand. Finger. Whoop, yeah, finger. Use a friend if you don't think they're gonna fall.
We'll fall.
Yeah. So once you've got your foot, pull the belly in towards each other. So a lot of people have like the belly out, we're gonna pull it in. And then we'll release that leg, shake it out a little bit, go to the other side. So right foot's gonna turn out at an angle, left foot's gonna come forward. And then that back knee is gonna bend as you sweep the arms forward and around. And again, if you wanna flex that left foot, you can. Bringing the toes towards the knees. Whew. Also really like to use noises and sound effects. And we also really like to talk about food. So I might talk about cheese fries during core work sometimes. There you go, 4 more. 5 more. Whew. Last one. Perfect. And we're gonna go to the other side. Again, if you know you're shaky, grab some fingers, kick that right foot back, try to grab it, hold it to the bum, but keep the belly pulled in.
I guess stare at the spots on the floor.
Just feel like I have really skinny feet, so they don't let me balance.
Release. You're welcome. Shimmy, shake it out a little bit, and then walk to the front of your mat. So now we're going to come into some tree poses. So we're going to find something on the wall to focus on, and that's going to be your focal point, because it's easier to balance, they say, if you have something that's not moving to stand on, to look at. So we're going to bring both hands to the hips. Come into what's called power stance. I want you to transfer your weight into your right foot, come onto your left toes. Bring the left heel on the inside of your right ankle. Boom, tree pose. Wow, we're here, awesome. If you want to add more, you can bring the foot up onto the calf. But you want to make sure you're still pushing into the standing leg. If you feel confident here, bring the hands to prayer. You're like, hell yeah, I got this, bring the arms overhead. Or maybe not, maybe you're like, oh crap, let me keep these here. Still pushing into that right foot, down into the floor, don't sink into that right hip. And then a little added bonus, we're going to take the left foot away from the right leg and just kind of hover it in space. Whew. Bring this knee back forward and then set the foot down. Whew. Shake out the standing leg. Whew. We're going to go to the other side. So transfer the weight to the left foot, coming onto the right toes like you're wearing a high heel, hands on the hips, power stance. Bring that right heel on the inside of that left ankle. Hold here for a moment, right? Pushing into the standing leg, not letting that left hip sag. And then if you feel confident, maybe bring that right foot onto the calf, the knee, or maybe the thigh. And if you feel good there, maybe bring the hands in prayer. Maybe reach them up overhead. If you're wobbling and swaying, that's all right. That's what trees do. We'll take 2 more breaths. Woo, still pushing into that standing leg. And then we'll hover the right foot off the left leg a little bit. Bring the right knee back forward. And then set the right foot down. Shake it out a little bit. You coming to chair tomorrow?
Yeah, as long as mom's okay.
Okay.
Wait,
Yes. You have it. Alright. Back at the top of the mat. Go ahead and flip your left toes over. Roll that ankle around a little bit. Stretch the top of the feet. Other side.
Why do you have something surprise?
No. Not very many surprises in chair yoga. We try to keep it consistent.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So
Mom appreciates that.
yeah. So I want you to take your feet to the edges of your mat, heels on the mat, toes turned out. And we're not going to come into like a yogi squat or anything. Our hands are going to come in between our legs though. So bending the knees out, go ahead and bring the hands down. There we go.
Who wants to play jump from?
Yeah, or we're going to play jump rope.
Leapfrog.
Leapfrog, there you go. And then from here, I want you to step your left foot back and your right foot back. Come into plank. Woo! I know, right? Everybody's favorite. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, left foot to the outside of your left hand. So right back where you were. Here we go. And then step it back. Woo! Step it forward. Step it back, plank. Step it forward. Nice. Now we're going to step it back and then we're going to come into downward dog. And we're going to add a little hop in this. If you've got your knee blanket on your mat, go ahead and scooch it off to the side for a second. So we're in a downward dog. Bring your feet in a little bit so it's a shortened downward dog. Come up onto your toes. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Bend the knees a little bit. We're going to hop our feet to the edges of our hands. Hop out. Here we go. And then hop back. Hop out. Nice. Hop back. Hop out. Woo! Hop back. Hop forward. Woo! Hop back. We'll go one more. Hop forward. You. Hop back. Knees down. Woo. Sit back. Very nice. Bring both hands on tops of the shoulders. Roll the right and the left. Making sure your blocks are at the top of your mat. Bring the hands down. We're going to come into tabletop. Send the left leg back behind you. Take this left leg. We're going to bend the knee. We're going to bring it behind your right knee. Right? And then I want you to take your left foot. I'm going to turn this way so you guys can kind of see a little bit. So I've got my left leg behind me. I'm going to bring it behind my right leg. And then I'm going to take this foot out to the side. This foot's out. I'm going to walk my hands back. And then I'm going to sit back. Woo. Yeah, this one's a little tricky. Yeah. So walk your hands back towards your knees. All the way, all the way, all the way. Yeah. And your butt's going to come in between your hips. Perfect.
That was hard.
Yes. So the idea is to get knee over knee. You be careful with this.
Yeah.
So extend that bottom leg out and then just cross the top leg over. There you go. Yep. And everybody else, and try to sit up nice and tall. Bring that bottom leg forward just a little bit, that foot out towards me. Yep, there you go. Perfect. Try to sit up nice and tall. If you've got your legs, go ahead and fold over. We're just going to sit up. Yeah, you hold right where you are. No, you don't.
Yeah, I didn't do that jumping thing.
Yeah, that's okay. Woo. Come out. Extend the bottom leg out, not length, long. Uncross the top leg. Shimmy them out a little bit. Then come over on hands and knees. Woo. We'll go to the other side. So right leg's going to extend behind us. We'll take that right knee behind the left knee. Feet are out wide. So even if you're really tight in this, you want your feet outside of your hips and then start to shift the weight back. Hands come towards the knees. Hips come down. Whew. Yep, and then just start walking your hands. So it's a little bit tighter. You're kind of coming into like a pigeon thing with this back leg. Bring it in more. And then this front leg's going to lift. There we go. This one's not an easy one to get into, so I don't teach it very often. But it's good outer hip stretch. So the idea is to get the hips on the floor with the knees stacked. What is your name? Blanca? For everyone else, we're all a little tight there. Just gonna sit up nice and tall. And lean over the knees, or you can like sit up. You can also extend the bottom leg out. Just keep that cross-legged position. Very similar stretch. And now we're seated on our butts. You guys made it. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to extend the legs out nice and wide. I'm going to move the butt out the way. So there's a couple options. Pointing your toes is going to strengthen your calves. To flex is going to stretch. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. Sit up nice and soft. I want you to bring both hands behind your back. Okay. Now, the big thing that normally happens with this, people do this number. See my head? It's starting to go towards the floor. So I'm leaning with my head. I want you to think about belly to the floor. So leaning forward and keeping your head up. All right? So we're just going to lean until our hamstrings say no. And then come back up. And lean. And then come up. There you go. Keep moving like that. Lean. And then up. Going. Up. It's hard. It's hard. If your knees bend a little bit, that's all right.
I can feel it. I can feel it in my hands. It's like I'm not even bending over.
And then we're going to hold, 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 and then come up. Yep. Bring the hands underneath the knees, bring the feet together, sit up nice and tall. Grab the big toes with your peace fingers. Roll the shoulders on the back, inhale, look up. Then exhale, lean forward. Go ahead and let the head round if you'd like. You can walk the hands out in front of you, or you can keep them on your feet. Walk the hands back in. Hands are going to come to the outsides of the knees. We'll bring the knees together. Hands come underneath the knees. We'll sit back and lift the feet up. Ooh, come into everybody's favorite boat pose. Okay. And stay like this. Bring the hands out. We're just going to hold. Yay. We need to move the hands. We can take them out and around. We need to do something. You're like, I need a distraction. If you need to just hold your legs, you can do that. Woo. Got it. Keep me going. Keep me going. Keep going. Woo. A little bit more. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold. Hold. Extend your boat out. Bring it in and then come down. Very nice.
Wow.
You guys all did it. Yeah. Bring the feet out in front of you. Think more of a diamond versus like your standard butterfly. So butterfly, you bring the feet in as close as you can. Diamond, we take it out. Hands on the knees. Roll the shoulders back, look up, and then lean forward. Walk the hands. Up. Send the right leg out to the side, left foot on the inside of that right thigh. Flex the toes. You're going to bring both arms up forward. Twist towards your knee. Yeah, there you go. Good. Take the right hand on the left knee. Left arm's going to reach up. And then we're going to lean to the right. So notice how this variation of the pose feels for you, where you feel the stretch. If you like it, if you dislike it. And then we're going to switch things up a little bit. Take your right hand towards your right toes. There you go. You might be able to lean over a little bit more. Yay! Christine, you're so close to your toes with that other hand. Look at you.
I know. Look at that.
Oh my gosh! Snaps for Christine.
Not the knees to the
That's all right.
I mean the nose to the knees.
The nose to the knees. That's all right. Come back up. We're going to walk the hands forward out in front of us, come into what's called a half butterfly pose. Foot can do whatever it wants to do. So I don't know if you guys saw on the schedule or not, but Thursdays, every other Thursday, we do restorative, which is is like nap time yoga. It's like super relaxing and stuff. So if that's something you are interested in. I know some people like it, some people don't. Walk the hands in. We're gonna take this left hand to the outside of the left hip. Take this right foot away or this left foot away from you a little bit just to create some space. We're gonna come on this shin and this right foot. We're gonna come into what's called baby rock star. So the hips are gonna lift up. You reach the right arm up and back. Go ahead and bring it on down. We'll switch sides. Left leg will go out. Right foot will come in. Inhale, reach both arms up. Twist to your right knee. Left hand comes down. And then right arm goes up and over. You ready? Take the left foot, left hand to the left foot. Right hand to the outside of the right hip. Push into the hands, lift up onto that right shin and the left toes. Reach the left arm up and back, baby rock star. And then we'll come on down. Okay, so I extend the legs out, give them a little shake out. And then we'll grab both of our blocks. I'm going to put you in a pose before we lay down fully. So this is going to be at the back of your mat. You're going to place one block on the tall setting, the very back. And you're going to place another block on the medium setting, a little bit behind that. Now I just want to show you guys first what it's going to look like. So this block is going to be on the shoulder blades, right around where your bra line would sit. So I'm going to hold that block first. I'm going to lay down on it, find that sweet spot. And then once I get there, reach back for the other block. Rest your head. You're coming in this position. Again, you're going to want to hold the blocks as you come down on them. You might have to maneuver them a little bit. Yeah, you did. Is this still okay down here? Yeah. Is it a little too crunchy or is it just okay? It's your choice. You can have your feet extended out or you can have the knees kind of just dropped in together. Still okay for everybody? She's got it! Snaps for Natalie.
Damn ponytail.
Damn ponytail getting in the way. For about 4 or 5 breaths. Hands to the floor. You'll use those to push yourself off the block, up to the seat. Go ahead and move the blocks to the side. Make sure you have your strap, and we'll lay all the way onto their back. right underneath your toes. And then extend the foot up towards the ceiling. Nice. Hold on to the strap with your right hand. Flex the bottom foot like you're standing on it. And then holding onto the strap with the right hand, we'll open it out to the right. Now the key here on this one is to keep the left hip on the floor as well as the shoulders. So if you feel like those two areas pop up at all, bring the foot back a little bit. Oh, sorry. We'll go ahead and lift the foot back to center. Switch hands with the strap. Same foot in the hand. There we go. Now before you take it over the right or the left, just take it to the left just a little bit, but keep that right hip on the floor. So it's almost like just perfect. And then you should feel somewhat of a stretch on the outside of the leg, maybe not, maybe so. Yep. And then when you're ready, we'll take all the way over into the twist. So at this point, the hips can lift. I just want the shoulders to stay on the floor. So that hips can pop up, that's okay. Just keeping that right shoulder down. And if you want to, some people like to look over their right shoulder. Back to center. Go ahead and bend the knee under the strap. Extend the leg out nice and long. Welcome, you're a little bit taller now. Never gets old. Go ahead and bring the left knee into the chest. Go to the other side now, strapping. We'll take the strap around the ball of the foot. Hold on the strap with the left hand. And then when you're ready, we'll open it out to the left. Come back up to center. Switch hands with the strap. And just take the foot over to the right just a little bit. Right? Just to get that slight stretch on the outside of the leg. Take a breath or two there. And then when you're ready, take the leg all the way over for the full twist. Keeping just the shoulders on the mat. The hip can lift. That's A-okay. Bend the knee under the strap and extend the leg out nice and long. Now we're going to set up for our Shavasana, our final resting pose, the pose that everybody enjoys. If you have any kind of lower back tenderness, let me know. I can place a bolster underneath your knees. If you'd rather take Shavasana on the side or on your belly, you're welcome to lay face down or whichever. If you need a blanket, let me know. I've got extras. Take up some space on your mat, arms out, palms feet up or down, your choice. Kind of releasing the body, keeping that space, still holding any kind of tension or engagement. Allow the breath just to flow in and out of the body. Don't force it, right? Like a lot of yoga, we do like breathing deep and like forcing it in and out. Now you just kind of let it do its thing. Letting all of our practice seep into the body. When thoughts do come up into your brain, whatever they may be outside of this room, I want you to notice what it is that you're thinking about and then bring it back to your breath. Bring it back to how your body feels right now laying on your mat. What kind of mental space you feel. remembering that as much as yoga is a physical practice, it's mostly a mental practice. And it's so hard to control the processes that are going through our mind, the way we feel, our emotions. I mean, it's tough. But it's a lifelong practice. And the theory is that if you can better control your body, if you can better move your body, it makes controlling the mind a little bit easier. body, wiggle the fingers and toes. A few moments just to move or stretch in any way that your body would like before rolling off to either side, making a pillow with your arm or with your Sitting up nice and tall. Pulling the shoulders down and back. Hands resting in the lap. Eyes can be open or closed. Just take a moment to reflect on your practice. Poses that you might have liked or disliked. Things that you might have done that you didn't think you could do. Bring the hands to prayer in front of our heart. Bow your chin to your chest. And give yourself a thank you for creating this time for yourself and for your practice. In order to be there and to take care of others, we must first take care of ourselves, as difficult as that can be sometimes. The divine light in me honors, bows, and recognizes the divine light in you. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us.
I told you she was the best.
Y'all are slightly biased.